Welcome to Ever After, a Once Upon a Time podcast. Season 7, Episode 13, Nightfall. In this episode,
Roger strikes a deal with Eloise despite Tilly's warning. Ivy struggles to find herself after Victoria's death. Hook confronts Captain Ahab over a legendary magical talisman which can free Alice.
it's Maui's Hook.
Oh,
Okay.
spoiler!
I'm
Okay.
your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And Rob Southgate.
This episode, I would like to say, took us a couple of tries to get through. It was
What happened?
extremely
It was
slow
not great.
and very convoluted, and
It was
it
confusing.
didn't make a whole lot of sense, and there not much happened. So we're going to have to
Yeah.
struggle
Yeah, well,
our
this
way
is-
through this. We're hoping maybe this
I
one
hope-
sets something up and something interesting will happen on
By
the
which
next
I mean that I want Moana to be in it. That she probably...
I doubt Moana's in it.
But that's a
that was the
Maui's
setup.
Hook.
Maui's Hook was it was a MacGuffin though.
Okay.
They didn't even use it. They
Oh,
had
right.
it. They
no,
were
they
showing
haven't
it.
used it yet.
They're not going
No,
to use it.
you
I
don't
bet.
think that? No, it shows up in next week.
Does it?
Oh, I didn't see that. part
That
of the
thing is
trailer.
so powerful. I really
But
doubt
why
they're gonna
didn't
use it.
he? Why didn't he get
her out when he was
get-
like
no,
lying
get-
on the ground.
Why didn't he? When Ahab walks in, Hook is standing there about to use the thing to get
Because I'll tell you why.
Rump
Because
out, and then he didn't. Why didn't he just kick it over to Rump? Rump would have
Because
opened it and then
the reason
killed Ahab.
that he
Because his pride.
No, not his pride.
Oh.
No, when they had the fight, he said
This was before the fight.
that was after the fight.
No, the duel came after.
It did?
Yeah, he didn't use the dumb
Oh.
thing.
Then never mind.
Yeah.
I thought
It
I
made
thought it
no
was before.
To me, I was like, why didn't he? Then it would have been 2 against 1. He wouldn't have
Well,
been
he-
able to fight against.
And
Yeah.
Rump's like, I can rip his face off.
Right.
He's like,
just
I'll give you
open the
his
dumb
hand.
thing. Open the bars and let me out.
I
Mhm.
thought it was after that.
No, then he said, no, you have to duel me. And then they left.
that
then he
was
went-
duel.
really convoluted.
But they left Rump in there.
Well, of course they left Rump in there.
Okay, but Rump was the best part of the show.
Yes.
And
And
he
they
was
left
in it
him
for
in there.
2 seconds.
Yes.
So, there was a funny line, though. What was my favorite line? Hook said it.
I don't know.
Oh, when she was saying something, he's like, that really doesn't make any sense.
No.
He's like, no.
What
But
the
it was
heck
something
was
like
it?
that. He was like, we're like, that doesn't make sense. And he's like, it doesn't make sense. He was saying something too. It was,
Yeah,
I'll think of it.
I don't know.
he was, I remember. She's like,
Okay.
they have a heart-shaped box with marzipan chocolate inside.
He says,
And he's
that
like-
is very specific.
Yeah, right.
That was my
It was
favorite line.
amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, it was I don't know.
It was
I don't
awful.
know. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what happened. This was
I didn't
it
get...
had a lot of missteps. It had the Maui's thing was dumb. And I mean frankly, and I really didn't like Ahab. I usually like when they bring in the other characters, but
He didn't
that-
do anything.
well no, and that's
Yeah.
not Ahab.
yeah.
That wasn't Ahab's character. Ahab's
Right.
not a pirate.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing
Yeah, and-
was weird.
And
Yeah.
isn't it Ishmael that has the white whale?
No, it's Captain Ahab.
Captain Ahab.
Oh.
In Moby Dick.
Right, but right.
But he says, call me Ishmael.
Right, but
That's his first
Captain
name.
Ahab is the one.
It is?
Captain Ahab is the one hunting the white whale.
Yes.
But he's not a pirate. And was the other guy supposed to be Jim Hawkins? Because that's
Yeah.
what they were. That was who would be with him, dressed like that. But they never referred to him.
And
they
he
never
just kind of
said
looked at
anything.
him like,
And
was
he
just
didn't get
very
to do
strange.
anything.
yeah.
Ahab didn't get to do anything interesting.
No,
Other
Ahab
than
was
get
just.
shot.
I can't figure
Just a
out
bad guy.
which hook I'm looking at ever. And so then I'm like, wait,
No, we
is
got
this
that.
Slovenly Hook?
This
or
is
are we
all
is this
Slovenly
Emma's
Hook.
Hook?
There is no
And
Emma Hook.
He's old, now he's young. I
This is all
can't.
slovenly
I
hook.
can't-
There
cannot
is no
follow
more.
this story to save my life.
So this is slovenly hook
Okay,
before he's slovenly hook.
right.
So when you see him in Seattle, he is slovenly hook after the magic has made him young hook again.
Okay.
This is younger. This is slovenly hook when he actually was younger, when he loses Alice and turns into a drunk after that.
So
I got all that.
Gothel is trying to keep her in this tower. He was going to save her.
He was going to get Maui's.
Well, he was going to visit her. He was going to visit her.
No, but then he went to save her with the thingy, with the hook.
With the hook.
Yeah, and she didn't like that part.
Which he brought up there yet again and didn't use it.
Right.
And then she's like, "Oh, Papa!" And then they hugged, and then like he started dying. And I'm like, I would just like tap the thing against the side because with Maui's fish hook, all you do is like tap stuff and like think it. I'm
but
like,
do
why
they know that?
Yeah.
Well, that's why they got it.
But they know it's a magic item, but they might not know how it works.
Oh my gosh!
I know, but it's so easy.
If he had just given it to frickin' Rump like he was supposed to,
right?
And Rump's like, "Oh, I love deals. Oh, I'll make a deal with you." He wasn't like, "It's all in for me."
Right.
He was like, "Yes, give me conversation."
Wait a minute, Mal. Wait a minute. You are getting snookered in. Rump always makes deals, and they always come out to his advantage.
They benefit him.
That's why Hook ran away with the fish hook.
That's why Hook ran away with the spoon. So Mal, if Rumple ever wants to make a deal with you, don't. Yes. Because you're the one who's going to fall for it.
It's like in Dory, how they're like, when we see the undertow, we say, and she's like, "Let's go." They're like, "No, it's heck no." They're like, "You run." And she's like, "But, okay." It's like, I mean, when we say Rump, we say, "Yeah."
When I loved when Rump was pretending to be weak in the jail cell, that cracked me up.
He's like, "Yes, it changed my power."
Oh, I'm so afraid.
And they're like,
and he's kind of falling down.
And then he's like, "Well, I know it drains your power." And he's like, "Yes, it drains my power."
When he first goes down there, and you hear Rump just giggling, and I'm like, just about any other time, I would go, "Okay, that's kind of dumb," but he's so fantastic.
Yeah, he's so funny.
He's so amazing.
I was cracking up at it, like. It's not even the character. It's not even like that he's choosing to make the character do that. He's doing it to be to be like playing with him. Yeah. That's what's so great about it.
The hardest part about this season for me is that I have to keep looking at Regina and watching them not use her.
No kidding.
And it's driving me crazy. She is the show.
She and
Rump how are you not showing her? And every time they show her, she's just like, "Oh, okay, well, come in here." And then it's 2 seconds later, and then it's over. Like, she's
I'll tell you why. That's the deal they gave to keep her on this season. She's had a couple of episodes where she was on a significant amount. The rest of the time, it's these short little things. She probably only had to film for a week or two total.
Yeah, because
and she's out. So I bet at the end, like the last episode or so, we'll get a really good Regina.
Well, this is painful.
Yeah, this was ridiculous. We had a total of 2 minutes of
I didn't
Regina.
really like when Jacinda was doing the farm when she's like, "Oh, do we the farm animals?"
No.
I didn't like that.
No, the problem is that there aren't really very many likable characters right now.
Right. I forget. Did they?
I don't mean
Mochi,
good characters. I mean like. In general, like as a character, good or bad, like evil or good. I'm saying there aren't any likable. I'm really struggling to find anyone.
The likable characters
they don't use
are the ones from before that we know.
Well, and Tiana,
and
Hook,
they're underusing them.
Rump,
and
Hook, Regina,
and then Tiana. We really liked Tiana.
She wasn't in this episode. She's only been in a couple of episodes.
Well, and she's gotten such weird dialogue that I go, Okay, so that's a little strange.
I like Alice.
Gothel's
but they're
interesting.
Doing weird things with her.
Yes.
This episode,
she's a great actress, though.
This episode, she had some very weird moments, and then at the end, they imply they come into the hospital room, and there's that dead person there who's been dead a while because her eyes don't gloss over like that in
like she had cataracts
1 minute.
Yeah, something.
So she's laying there dead. Well, maybe she did. Maybe that is what it is. Maybe it was. She did. You know who she was?
Who?
She was one of the witches, the 3 witches.
Yes,
that share the eye.
Because they said someone was going around killing.
Killing witches.
The one was blind, and then the other one was the doctor.
They didn't tell us that.
No, I got it for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's what it was. Well,
now I'm thinking of Hercules. I love that.
They showed her holding the scalpel, and it had blood on it, and she was saying all these things that made you think she murdered this person in cold blood. That's pretty weird. That was so noisy.
Sorry, I was so thirsty. I've been thirsty a while, and I was trying.
Okay, we need a nice pause.
That's really interesting.
So, yeah, I love Alice, but not young Alice.
No, I don't love young.
But
No.
I like her.
this Alice.
That was-
Gothel's sort of interesting. She's kind of fun. When she did the wavy thing,
That was my favorite part.
when she was in the
She's been
like she was in there and
everything.
she looked at everybody. She's like, "Hello."
Yeah, she's
and then
been-
Alice is like, "But she's a monster." And they're like,
Yeah.
"It's okay, she's not a monster." And then Rump was telling her that he knew.
Mhm.
He was like, "I know, you're
Yeah.
right. She's a monster. I agree with you." She's like, "You do?" And he's like, "Yes, I do." She's like, "Thank you." And then they were about to explain stuff to each other, and then Hook walked in. They had to stop.
Yeah, she's a good villain.
Yeah.
She could be a great villain,
She's
but
good. She's decent.
this is once again it's odd. There's something
wrong.
off.
There's something wrong.
And
this
it could
season.
just be that you know what they tried to reboot. They did all these
Yeah.
things, and at the core of it, Cinderella and her daughter we don't really
Just
care
are not
about,
strong enough.
Yeah.
and that's
They can't
where
carry the
problem is.
show.
I have a
And
quick
Henry
question.
is too bland. There's
Yeah.
nothing
He's
interesting.
too like
Now, the other
lawful
Henry
good.
was the same way. the other
Right,
Henry
but
couldn't
you
have
had
carried a show.
Emma
but you
and
had,
Hook
you had
and
strong
Rumpel
characters
and Regina, and they were
around him.
yeah they were doing big stories with them.
yeah.
Here,
Here, there's not a real good storyline,
It's confusing.
and
very
the
confusing.
characters are not strong enough to carry the show, and the people who can are giving weird things to work with. And so,
and once again, I think that they were given. I think other than Hook, they were given very short shooting times. Like
You're right.
like to keep you here, we're going to pay you, and we'll reduce the amount. I think Rump agreed to do a little bit more than Regina did.
Yeah, Rump has a bit more, but it's not that much.
Yeah, it's not that much, but it's definitely not the amount that we've seen in the past.
Yeah. I have a quick question.
Mhm.
Did they call it Moki or Mochi?
Mochi.
Thank goodness, because I might have, gone crazy.
That is the weirdest thing.
Because it's pronounced Mochi, and everybody says it wrong.
No, they don't.
It's like with macarons. Everyone, oh, my macaroons. I'm like, they're macarons. I almost got
unless
really
you're
worked
talking
up.
about the coconut cookie, which is a macaron.
I know, but everyone always calls.
Listen to the food blogger complaining
getting-
here.
I'm worked up already, okay?
All right. Well, they didn't. They didn't
Okay.
say it wrong.
Okay,
It's all good.
all is good.
So then we have Lucy goes to Regina. Here's one little storyline.
Yes.
There's actually
Yeah.
something to hold on to.
Yes,
Lucy goes to Regina with the picture. And
yes,
she
yes,
says-
yes,
Oh,
yes.
And she
Yes.
said it changed, and I had to stop them from kissing because he's gonna die. Henry's gonna die.
And
Yeah, that was
And
really
Regina
cool.
admits that
she
she's
reveals
awake.
it.
And she's
Yeah.
like, I'm awake. I'm the evil queen. She's like,
Yeah.
wait, really? She's like,
Yeah.
I'm your grandma. She's
But
like,
don't call
she's
me
like,
that.
she's like, you're a Mills. She's like, but don't call me your grandma.
Right.
She's like, okay. And she's like, we're a Mills, so we saved them. And they're like, she's like, what should this operation be called then? And
Operation Hydrangea or something.
Hyacinth. She's like,
Hyacinth.
Hyacinth. That's the
Flower.
first thing my dad gave to my mom.
Okay.
So that was actually the reason
that
that
was
was so
pretty
good
cool.
is it was a Regina storyline.
Yes,
Yeah,
And it
and,
was just
and
this
it
nugget.
shows that there might be something actually coming up to get us through the last 9 episodes.
Right.
That
Mhm.
Regina will come and save the day for us because
Yes.
something's got to give. We could barely deal with this one.
And I don't know.
It's hard to
I
talk
was actually
about it when
ready to
there's
watch
nothing
this
to
one
talk
again.
about.
And,
Yeah.
and it starts up, and I'm like,
Same thing as
oh my
last
gosh!
time.
But I couldn't believe we were a half hour into it, and it felt like we'd been watching for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It
I was
was very
Yeah.
slow.
But I'm hoping now that we have some semblance of a storyline that is going to start
Yeah.
revving up here.
I hope so.
Because we can't do 9 more of these and not have anything to talk
Yeah.
about.
I hope it'll get more
Although we
exciting.
filled time pretty well.
Yeah, well, we filibuster. But
Well, I hope this is just like a slow episode, and that
Yes.
the rest is going to be.
well, it's set up the Tilly having this chase now to
Yeah.
find Tilly and
And
figure
whether
out
she
Yeah.
did
whether
the
she
killing.
is the one murdering these witches. Then there's
It set up the Regina storyline.
the Regina storyline. So I'm
and
hoping
it set up the Gothel, because it came very close, I think, to her getting revealed to Hook.
Yeah,
Hook has to wake up soon.
yeah.
I mean, if he goes 9 more episodes and he doesn't wake up, and then in the last episode he wakes up, I think that's a real drawn out
Yeah.
story, and that's not something they've really done on this show.
No.
yeah.
You know, they did in the first season. They kind of dragged it out a little bit, but then when they went to the half season stories,
Mhm.
it really tightened that up.
Yeah.
So I hope that's not the case.
This isn't as much of a half-season story.
No.
Because it's kind of like one continuous story that's kind of convoluted, so it doesn't really make sense.
What I think that might be why we're feeling it here. We're at the midway point of the season, and it's got this weird drag, and it didn't have that nice resolution we're used to in like episode 12.
Well, and what happens normally mid-season in the other seasons was that we had the storyline wrap up, and then a whole new cast of baddies and whatever.
Right.
Like we went from Oz, to Elsa and
you know what it could also be. It was at this point when, just before this, that they actually found out that they weren't going to get renewed.
Yeah.
Even though, like, it just came out, like, what shows were canceled, that they knew months before that, we're going to end it at the end of this season. And I have a feeling that as they were in production, they went, okay, we have to wrap up this one contained story. This isn't going to go on. This is one piece.
You're right.
And I think that's why we got this episode. Kind of forced and weird. And
it was really strange.
And I'm hoping episode, 14 is the next one?
Yeah, 14.
Okay. I'm hoping 14 makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
Yeah, and also the first, it wasn't quite, the break wasn't quite mid-season, because it was episode 10 instead of episode 11. So it was an episode shorter too. But the series is longer, so this last half
so it kind of stretched right in here.
Well, we'll see.
Right.
We'll see. But hopefully this now is starting up a couple of good storylines that we could sink our teeth into.
Yeah.
Today,
we
not
need
so
to.
much.
All right. Are we done?
Yes.
I think we are.
All right. Before we go on, I want to tell our audience something really cool. This last weekend, this show, Ever After, the Once Upon a Time podcast, won a podcast award at Indie PopCon for Best Family Podcast. I'm so excited.
I'm so happy. I cannot believe this.
Yeah, guys, congratulations. And what's funny is here we were just kind of like playing down this season a little bit, but the episode that won was the last one we did.
I know. I was like, really?
It wouldn't have won for this one.
No, it wouldn't have. But it's really cool. So congratulations to both of you, to all of us.
To us?
Well, no, but you guys, when we went into this, we never really submitted for awards, and the fact that we submit it once and we win at the Indie PopCon, I'm pretty impressed. I think that's pretty awesome. So
I when you came home and you were like, we won that, I was so happy.
Yeah. So thank you to the listeners. Thank you to the people that listened and voted, because I know that some people got to vote. I didn't even know they were doing this, but I guess on iTunes you could go on and vote for our show, and people did. So thank you. And
thank you guys so much.
Yeah. So follow us on Twitter at EverAfterPod. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. I think we have an account. I don't even remember at this point. The big thing is Twitter and Facebook. And tell people about the show. Share it with people. If you have a friend with a kid, what we've heard a lot of is they've been listening to it with the original episodes, watching them on Netflix, and then listening to our show and having this like family experience with it, which is awesome. It's exactly what we wanted to have happen. So do that. You got a niece or a nephew that might be into it. You got a kid. You got a friend. You got a neighbor with a kid. Tell them, hey, try this out. It's really a cool way to experience the show. So that's it. I'm done. Are you guys done?
I am done.
All right. I want to say I'm excited for the next episode.
I hope it's going to be good.
I am optimistic.
Let's go with optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yes.
I agree with Mom.
Now let's end this the way every great fairy tale ends.
Happily ever after.
The end.